No. Oh, I say! Messi. Oh, brilliant skill from Lionel Messi. Surging forward with real menace here. Brilliant from Messi. Oh, what a goal that is!
Yes, good evening. Sava here from Football Heritage TV. Spurs are back. The Premier League is back. And we've got our first point on the board. 39 more, and we're safe from relegation. Haz, I jest, of course. Big up to Haz from South Coys. How are you, mate? You well?
Yeah, very good. Finally, we got to see Tottenham play their first Premier League game today under Ange. Still buzzing, really. I know it's a point, but I'm just buzzing to see the team today finally play. And yeah, there's a lot of talking points as well, Sava, so I'm sure we're going to get into it.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Listen, look, it wasn't the start I think a lot of people wanted. It was a tough game against a tough team that did sit back. They defended for their lives. We struggled to break them down. But a team that only lost 2 games all season at home last year. I'll come to you in 1 second on that. Has big up to absolutely everyone in here. There are 291 people at the moment, so that's just shot up to 324 people in here at the moment. Smash the like button. Come on, we all know the rules. Smash the like button. We've got 50 likes. Let's get that to 300 as quickly as possible. And please keep subscribing. We are on course for 10K in the next few days, but we need to keep smashing that subscribe button.
Let's do it, people. Let's do it.
And hopefully, I want to get to, where are we? I want to get to 9,600 before the day is out. That's 34 more likes. Look, they sat back. They soaked it up. And I think that it very much felt to me, Has, that it was very much a first day of the season performance, really, from both clubs.
Yeah, I mean, look, when I saw the lineups, it wasn't nothing strange, really, with the Spurs lineup. It was either going to be Skip or Sarr that was going to come in. Skip come in. And yeah, it was the team really picked itself. When I looked at Brentford's team, 5 at the back, essentially playing 2 wing backs, I know, but you know, they've got the 3 defenders at the back. You knew how they were going to set up. They were going to set up to bomb down the wings with Rico Henry and their right back, who I can't remember the name, but yeah. But it was very much one of those games where it was a sort of first game of the season, feeling out process, getting used to being back in the swing of things again. Yeah, it did have that vibe, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, it just felt a bit strange, didn't it? Listen, 4 players all making their debuts today. James Maddison, Vicario, Adoji, and Mickey van der Ven. How did you think the new boys fared today?
Right, so let's start off with the main one straight off the bat. Maddison, for me, look, what a fantastic signing he is, honestly. From what we've seen pre-season to what we saw today, I thought he was fantastic. With a bit more, if we had a bit more of a clinical finisher up top today, I think we could have put this game to bed, put it that way. He's gonna be fantastic for us. The free kick that led to the goal. Again, who did we have that could take free kicks like that before, after Eriksen left? Not many. I mean, Kane was taking those.
Yeah.
And then, we move on to, and I'll go to the back this time, Vicario. I know me and you had a bit of a back and forth earlier on today, but for me, he just gave me that vibe of where he looked a bit hesitant at times. He looked a bit nervous. Not that he made any mistakes, but he looked nervous. There was a couple of occasions where he ran out to the ball and then decided to come back. So he left the area and then sort of run back. And I think if you're going to do that, you just have to make your mind up and go for it, whichever one you choose. But that's normal, First game of the season, it's his debut today. He didn't want to put a foot wrong. And I can get that. I totally get that. It's just like starting a new day. First day at a new job. You don't want to do any wrong. You don't want to make mistakes. So can't really blame him for the goals, if I'm being honest, Sava. It weren't down to him. And then obviously we can go to Udogie next. Blimey, Udogie. What can I say about Udogie? He was sublime today when he was just the pace, the power, going back and forth. I mean, I had another chap behind me today saying, he was saying, God, this kid can run, can he? Like, it was just up and down. And we haven't seen the likes of that since the days of Rose and Walker, getting up and down like that. And for me, the newbies, gave themselves a good account today, if I'm being honest with you. Can't really that much fault with any of them, to be honest, because first game of the season, it's always going to be like a bedding in process. There's going to be nerves. We saw, and I don't want to mention his name, but we saw Kane yesterday come in. He only had a day, but I mean, I'm talking about when he played for Bayern in the final yesterday. You're never going to get someone firing straight away unless they're really exceptional. So,
yeah, absolutely. Look, I mean, I think Mickey van der Ven came in again. You saw his pace. Saw at times today his pace recovering around the back.
I do apologise.
No, that's right. I thought he looked, he looked composed on the ball. Not really a lot he could have done for that goal. I thought he looked really composed on the ball. His pace covering around the back was very, very good. It's just such a shame that obviously Romero went off injured, and we didn't really get to see them have more than 20 minutes together. I think it was even less than that. But look, I thought he did well.
Well, I think, when they first started the game together, I thought this has got potential. This back two, and then when Romero went off, I thought, oh no, here we go. The guy's just been at the club for a few days. His central defensive partner has just gone off injured, and now he's going to have to play with Sanchez. The poor guy. I was worried, but you know what? I've got to give props to Sanchez again today. That's twice now in 2 games, Barcelona and today. I think he made one sort of glaring mistake today, which he tracked back, and he made a fantastic challenge to get the ball back or to get the ball out of play. But look, Van der Ven, for me, he's young, he's raw, he's going to come good. He's very comfortable on the ball from what I saw today. Doesn't panic in situations where he's been pressed. So it seems to me that he is going to be that press-resistant sort of defender that can play really high up, not afraid to make a mistake because he's got that pace in him as well. Yeah. But I thought he did really well today, considering he had to change partners at the back in Sanchez when he come on. But props to Sanchez as well. He didn't, apart from a couple of mistakes here and there, I thought he was all right, and he showed real composure.
Yeah, do you know what? I think that was, for me, I think that was actually a better performance from him than against Barcelona. And what I mean by that is I thought against Barcelona, he had a lot of times where he nicked in and won the ball and defended well. But then I thought for a lot of the goals, it was poor. Today, I didn't think he did anything wrong at all. Look, let's go through. When the team was announced, I think everyone was pretty happy with that. I think the only thing I thought that he would do differently, I thought it would be Sarr. Instead of Skip.
Yeah.
But the back four as a whole, how do you think they defended? I mean, realistically, for me, the penalty I thought was soft. Like I thought it was ridiculously soft.
I was having kittens when that penalty was given. You saw me. I was absolutely ballistic when that was given, because for me, yes, Son clips his foot. I'm not going to say his ankle. He clips the top of his foot. And for me, he then takes like a split second to a second to then fall over. Now, the referee has gone back to look at that. He's gone to VAR to have a look. Surely you can see, yes, he's tapped his foot, but the player's gone down almost a second after he's tapped his foot.
Yeah.
Almost dragging his foot back. We all saw it today.
And I thought it was so soft, Has. I honestly,
people are going to say it's a penalty because he touched his foot, right? But I think refs have to start looking at things with a bit more context, all right? As in, has he dived? Has he made a meal of that? Has he played for that? They can see, they've got time afforded to them now to have a look at VAR and to see for themselves. Oh, actually, yeah, he has tapped his foot, but he didn't go down because of that. He went down a second after and played for it. And this is what really annoyed me. I know Son clipped his foot, but for me, that wasn't what brought him down, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw the same thing as me, but that's how I interpreted it.
Yeah. Listen. I completely agree with you. I mean, listen, I make the right. I think this is probably Stel in the chat. Stel or Riggy. Big up to you guys. I said Udogie is the only wing back or defensive wise player who can actually defend. Emerson was awful other than his goal, and Sanchez isn't good enough. He's having a half decent spell, but he's not good enough. Listen, I do agree with all of that. I mean, listen, you're in the WhatsApp group. You've seen the debate we've just been having about Emerson. I think Emerson did a lot of nice things today in areas that aren't his main area. You know, I thought like he drove forward well, got the good goal. I just truly believe that everyone attacks our left-hand side. Everyone attacks our right-back area because they know they're going to get change from him. And again, I said it last week against Shakhtar. They targeted him. Today, I thought they got him behind. Again, Rico Henry, I thought had a really good first half against him. I think right-back is a real problem for us. I think it's a real problem. And I know people will disagree and they like Emerson. He isn't for me at all.
Look, I'm going to say this, right? I like Emerson as a person. I think, you know, he's got a fantastic character, and what he's done to get through the hard times at Spurs, I think he's got fantastic characteristics. But there's no denying that he's lacking a lot in that defensive department for me. And today that was highlighted with Rico Henry having him on toast today. Every single opportunity, even, you know, in a short sprint, you know, he had him on toast. And that wasn't no coincidence, because their manager would have watched the game against Shakhtar, would have highlighted the fact that, you know what, Rico, run at this guy because you're going to have him on toast every time. And that was the case today. Now, people are going to make the argument and say, Ange asked him to play where he was playing, and that's the risk that we're going to take with the high line. But for me, if you're out of possession, then you need to be somewhere near that that left wing back and stay tight to him. Out, you know, when you're out of possession, fine. You want to when you're in possession, you want to sort of drift in midfield. That's fine. But when you sense that you know the team's going to be out of position, get back into position. You know, find your man, get tight on him. You know he's going to beat you for pace.
Yeah,
and he had at least half a yard on him all game. And you know, for me, it is going to be a problem area unless Ange sort of addresses that and has a word and says, look, actually, I need you to stay tight next time. You know, you're going to come up against better quality players, arguably. You know, we're going to play United, I think, next game. You know, if Rashford's out on that left wing, he's going to have him on toast. And arguably, he's got even more strength than Rico Henry. But, yeah, for me, I think it's an area that we need to look at because teams will target that side. I think on the whole, he didn't do much wrong when he came inside in midfield.
I agree.
The play, I thought he had some really nice moments. And of course, I've got to give him props for that goal because that goal was fantastic. It was at a crucial time of the game before half time. We needed to get a goal to get back into the game. And I think he did really well. But defensive duties, I can't give him any props there because it was really poor today. Really poor.
Well, let's go from poor play, a poor performance, in my opinion, to two very good performances. I thought Basuma and Maddison again. I truly believe if you get a third player in there with them that is an actual number 6, I truly believe we've got a very good midfield. I thought Maddison was excellent. I think Basuma just drives forward, drives the game, drives with the ball. But yeah, they were both bright sparks today, weren't they?
Oh, man, I was salivating over those two today. Basuma, for me, he's really surprised me. I'm not going to lie. All right. After last season, I know he didn't have the best time under Conte. He had an injury and stuff as well. But having seen him pre-season and watched him today as well, my God, if he carries on like this and if he carries on, you know, getting better and better, we've got a fantastic player on our hands. And the fact that he's starting to build that rapport with Maddison now, where they're having that sort of that connection between each other, it's going to benefit us because what I saw today was in tight spaces, he was dinking little balls over. They were interchanging. They were making little runs here and there. One was holding back. It was fantastic to see. But on top of that, Bissouma put in a real shift today. And for me, he was man of the match. Honestly, he was everywhere today. And you can tell from his if you want to look at his heat map, the amount of passes he's completed, the amount of tackles that he's made, for me, he showed why we paid the money we did last season for him. For me, he's going to be indispensable to this club. And, it's going to be tough when Bentancur comes back as well, because, if those two are firing, we need to, it's a big conundrum what we do with Bentancur as well, because like you said, you want to see a number 6, a really good number 6 with them. I'll put it to you, Sava. I mean, do you think Bentancur could fill that role, or do you think he's not really in that 6 mold?
Look, I think it'll be interesting. I think they'll complement each other well. I think if you've got Bentancur and Basuma, I think you'll almost go back to the old days where neither is an out-and-out 6, but both will go, both will get back, and like one can go, one can bomb forward. Listen, I very much like to see it. Unfortunately, I just didn't think, look, Skippy has been getting forward more. I just don't feel that his all-round game is good enough for me. I feel like he works hard. I almost want him to be so much better than he is, but I did think that he was the weak link in midfield today. So Bentancur will obviously be an improvement on that. But what did you make of Skippy today?
I thought he worked hard, but I just don't think I can't think of any moments where he really shone. I don't know what he provided today, if I'm being honest with you, to the team. I don't know what he gave the team today. He ran around. He gave it his all today. He put in a couple of challenges here and there, but in terms of the way that Ange wants to play, the little interchanging and the passes and stuff, I don't know if he's that sort of player. Was he brought in today as the 6, or to sort of get back and forth with Basuma? I don't understand what his overall role in the team today was. Yep. We knew what Basuma was going to do. We knew he was going to get forward and link up the play between Maddison and the forwards. And another thing for me with Skip, right, is he drifts on the right-hand side quite a lot. Now, whether that's to cover the right back and to link up between the right back and Kulusevski, I don't know. But, for me, I just think Sarr offers that little bit more quality than Skip. And I think going forward, we might hopefully see Sarr there instead.
Yeah, absolutely. Guys and girls, there's just under 700 of you in here and only 145 likes. Come on, people, smash that like button. It's free. And only 1 subscriber so far. Just under 700 of you. Let's get another 30 subs. And let's get that up to 9,600 by the end of the show. Yeah, look, let's talk about it then. The front 3. Listen,
how long have we got?
I thought all of them were poor. I thought every single, I'm not going to single out one of them. I thought Richarlison, just touch isn't good enough in tight areas. Snapping at shots that have not really got any kind of precision or accuracy. I thought Kulu, again, me and Sean just disagreed on this in the WhatsApp group. I thought Kulu was, again, anonymous. I thought every single time has cut in, pass it 5 yards on the left. Cut in, pass it 5 yards to the left. He's becoming so predictable. And Sonny, I mean, I wouldn't say he was bad, but I didn't do a thing for me. Neither of them, not one of those 3, did anything that makes me go, yeah, they should start automatically every game. Do you know what I mean? I didn't see anything from them as an attacking trio. What do you make of the front 3?
Well, first of all, Maddison done 10 times more than what both of them done through the whole game. He got himself about, got crosses in, exactly what they were meant to do, taking their man on. And talking about taking their man on, I don't think Kulusevski and Son actually took on their man once during the whole game. They tried to get forward. I think Son had a couple of crosses, but again, his output was very poor. Kulusevski, on the other hand, he didn't even take his man on once. I didn't even see him get to the by. Sometimes he gets to the byline, beats his man, gets the cross in. I didn't see any of that. Maybe on one occasion in the second half where, as a result of a free kick or a corner, he crossed the ball in from the byline. But for me, his output it was atrocious today.
Yeah.
And funny you should say we had 3. I thought we had 2 up top. It's as simple as that. I thought we had only 2, not 3, because Richarlison, for me, now whether he's playing with an injury or not, as has been rumoured all day today, he offered nothing today.
I agree.
When we needed him, he had a great opportunity to put the ball in the back of the net. He hesitated, and then he looked like he looked like a headless chicken after that. He was like, well, what just happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened, mate. You took your time and you got robbed. So for me, they've got to do better. I thought Son getting the captaincy would put a little extra spring in his step.
Yeah.
There'll be more about him. He'd want to, try hard to get other players into it as well. Gene the players up that aren't doing well, like Kulu. But for me, it's like he faded, and it's quite sad to see. He's been given the captaincy yesterday, but it was subbed off today. That shouldn't be happening, surely, unless he's just not fit enough at the moment. As the captain, he shouldn't be coming off. We didn't see Maddison come off today.
No, absolutely. I mean, look, listen, I agree. I think it is still whoever this is from Tottenham. I agree. I think Son has to go central. I think that
we've been saying that all along.
I honestly think that these 2 wide players don't suit this formation. I think Sonny will get so much more joy through the middle.
Yeah. But the conundrum then, Sava, is Richarlison, because we've got a £60 million player there who I think, because of his price tag, now we are sort of being obliged to play him. I honestly think that's the case. Either that or we've just got no other options, or Ange doesn't trust anyone else. But I think for his price tag, we can't just put him on the bench. Now that Harry Kane has left as well, right? What does that say? If we're then subbing him or putting him on the bench every game, what does that tell you?
Yeah. Look, Jazz Jones a bit harsh. Kula took a man on twice and dribbled into the box. Some was doubled up on. Listen, I'm afraid if you are going to be touted about as this great player, defenders are going to double up on you, right? That can't be the excuse. Top players find a way around that. For me, I don't see him as a wide man anymore. I really don't. I see him as a forward. But hey, I'm not the manager. I just think like the front 3 today, I don't know, it just feel like it didn't click. Like it doesn't click. I felt it was a bit harsh as well. Solomon not even getting a minute.
Yeah, that was a bit strange, to be honest.
Yeah.
I thought Kulusevski was nailed on to come off, in the second half, but he stayed on for some reason. I'm just thinking, if Solomon had come on, he would have run at that defense. He would have been that tricky little player coming on last 20 minutes. But it was strange that he didn't bring him on today. And I don't know whether that's down to, he's not quite there with the tactics yet, or he's not fit enough. But for me, I think Solomon would have been a perfect sub to come on for Kulusevski, who had a horrid game. That was the right opportunity for me. But like you said, we're not the manager.
No, absolutely. Look, today I thought there was encouraging signs. Look, as we've said, it's going to take a while for this new philosophy to really bed down, for people to understand how to play it fully. We had a lot of the ball. We had a lot of the football today, which was really nice to see. Second half, it just felt like there was a lot of huff and puff, but no real cutting edge, no real... I can't think of too many clear-cut chances in the second half that we had. Is this fitness? We haven't played a lot in pre-season. Is this fitness? Is this just first game? Which is why I would say that we can't be too harsh on the players today.
Yeah, I think we've got to put it down to, first game of the season. Fitness is... Look, we've not had a pre-season, let's be honest. We've had like 3.5 games. All right, they could do all the training in the background, but the fact is, your Uniteds, Liverpools, and everyone else, they've had a proper pre-season. They've had 7-8 games. We've had 3.5 games, so you've got to sort of put it down to A, fitness, and B, the players, the way that Ange wants to play. We all said it before; they'll tire out in the 65th, 70th minute sort of thing, and maybe that sort of was a difference as well. But look, we've got we've got 5 subs that we can bring on. We had Solomon on the bench that I think we should have brought on, fresh legs. We had other players as well, but I don't know. I just think it's a mixture of all those things, if I'm being honest with you. You know, just the fact that we haven't had a good pre-season in terms of getting match fitness, and the fact that he likes to play high-pressing football.
Yeah. So the question is, what happens against Man United? Look, we don't know if anyone else will come in between now and then, but it's a week away. Does he go with the same 3 and try and play them into form together? Or does Perisic get a start? Does Solomon get a start? Does Sonny go through the middle? What do you reckon? Mix it up or go again with the same?
I think it's a tough one. I think, first of all, we need to address the issues at the back. But I think Romero is going to be back for that game. He needs to sort out Emerson for that game as well, because he's going to need to, the concentration levels are going to need to be much, much higher than it was today at Brentford for Manchester United. But yeah, I think going forward, I just got a feeling he's going to stick with Son because he's the captain now. If he starts dropping his captain, it's not going to be a good look, is it? Let's be honest. I just personally think if you're not playing well, it doesn't matter whether you're the captain or not. You shouldn't, your right to play in the team shouldn't be automatic. But I think he'll still go with Son. I would just like to see Perisic on that left-hand side. And if he needs to come off at some point in the second half, so be it. That's why we've got Solomon and other options on the bench. And right-hand side, I would start Solomon. I would just go with Solomon on that right-hand side. Because, look, they don't know
something different, right?
They don't know what to expect from Solomon. That's the thing. As soon as you put Kulusevski on, they'll know. Right, just show him onto his right foot, boys. You'll be all right. You can easily defend that. He's going to cut into his left. He's going to try and, go around the edge of the box to whip a ball in with his left. Just show him on his right. And the United players, you're going to have the likes of Lisandro Lopez and other top defenders there. Easily mark him out of the game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Perchy, your thoughts overall on the game? Did we deserve to win? Can you deserve to win if you can't break teams down? I mean, what do you make of it?
I thought it was a fair game. I predicted 2-2. It finished 2-2. Just listen to me more often, guys. That's them.
That was me and you predicted 2-2, by the way.
I've said it all week. I said we'll finish 2-2. I said it's one of those though. Like, look, did we do enough to probably win it? Maybe. I mean, maybe if you want to put your Tottenham tinted glasses on. But the biggest issue is we give away chances every week. But I said this all along. I said this is going to be games of football where we create a lot, we have a lot of the ball, but we honestly give away so much. And in the final third, let's be honest, if it wasn't for a couple of bits of magic from James Maddison, we'd have probably lost the game, let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, I thought we actually, I thought we kept them at bay for long periods of time. I mean,
we did.
I thought that they were very good in the first half, down, as we said before, down Emerson Royal's wing. I keep seeing a lot of excuses made for him about the formation we're playing, but he's a fullback. And if you're going to keep getting him behind, he's got to learn not to go so deep in midfield then, right? He might be told to do that, but first and foremost, he's got to be able to defend. But we limited them. I don't think they had, off the top of my head, I can't remember Brentford doing too much, to be honest, apart from the penalty and then that goal. I don't remember them doing loads and worrying us.
No, I think they just look to get down the wings. Was this question for Perchy? I thought
for anyone, mate. For anyone.
Yeah, I just thought they just looked to beat us for pace down the wings, which they did against Emerson, and just whip that ball in. They've got really tall players in their squad. The likes of Mbuemo and everyone else, and Johan Wissa. They look to get on the end of their crosses. For me, they didn't really offer much, if I'm being honest with you, apart from a few moments here and there. But yeah, I think the game was there for the taking. I think both sides, to be honest, ran out of legs towards the end.
I thought so too.
Yeah, agreed.
Had this been sort of mid-season, you'd have seen a much more sort of evenly. Well, I say evenly, much more of a contest with both teams going for it. So, yeah, and I did say in the chat earlier on today, it just at times it looked a bit pedestrian. There was players just walking, little 5-yard passes, walking around. For me, needs to be a little bit more.
Yeah. I mean, look, Perchy. I don't want to get too carried away about it, right? Because it's the first game, right? It's the first game. We had a lot of the ball. Front three looked absolutely toothless.
Yeah.
Do
agreed.
we bring in another forward? Do we go and buy another forward, or are we going into the season with the options we've got? What do you reckon?
It's a worry, isn't it? Let's be honest. I think Son's been given the armband, but Son needs to now treat it as if he's got an armband, like he's the leader. Listen, I'm not being the same because Kane wasn't necessarily captain for a lot of last season because Lloris was, but what you saw with Harry Kane last season is it's drop in. Listen, if it's not working, take a bit of initiative and do something different, even if the manager's not told you to do it. Listen, there was times I felt he was out of the game completely. Listen, and when we say about a forward, listen, I'm going to stick up for Richarlison a little bit here. I felt he didn't get enough service. Let's be honest. Listen, we're not talking about a Harry Kane that gets one chance and goes and scores. Did you see my point? You give Harry Kane one chance, he scores a goal. Richarlison's not that player. He's not going to be that player. I think we have to be fair about it. But the service he got today was limited. And because Son and Kulu offered very, very little, if not nothing at periods. Kulusevski, same. I say every single game I watch him play at the moment. Comes in, cuts in. He is the easiest player as a left back to mark out the game. All you have to do is tell your left back. So Rico Henry, I can't remember the lad that was next to him in the 3. Just go, do you know what? As long as you don't show him inside, you're good. Keep him out wide. He's going to do nothing with it. And even when he tried to do something, his first move, put it onto my left foot. Worrying me. That worries me.
Archie, did Richarlison have any sort of presence about him today?
To a certain degree,
striker, as the main striker of Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, did he have any sort of presence about him on the pitch today that was going to worry the defence?
No, not massively, really. But the one thing I'll always say, if we're talk about effort more than quality in the ability, the one thing I did see from him was the pressing. I saw him; he was the first line of a press and stuff. But the concern is, as you're right in saying, the quality though in the final third wasn't there from anyone in the front 3 at all. No, there was. Listen, you look at it and go. You should be looking at it and go, we dominated possession. We had a lot of the ball and we had a lot of the ball in the final third. But it took a set piece from Maddison and a shot from Emerson Royale at the outside of the box that was good. I'm not going to be sitting there being negative because that's not what I'm trying to get at here. Because I actually think on the overall, I thought we were really good. There was a lot of positives to take from it. But for me, it does worry me. That front 3 worries me. Listen, and the one thing I did like though it would be good to hear what you think on it, mate. Because the one thing I did like, sub Son off. He's not scared to keep. He's not scared about subbing the captain off. And do you know what? That was one of the big things I saw because Son had a poor game, and it could have been very easy for the manager to go. Do you know what? He's the captain now. It will make headlines if I sub him off. I don't want to think like that. I'll bring off somebody else and stuff. No, you're not having a good game. You're off. And by the way, I didn't think Perisic was amazing when he came on. I didn't think he was great.
No, he wasn't. But look, I think he needed a little bit more time, let's be honest, to get into the game. But like you said, it bodes well that Ange isn't afraid to make those tough choices, those tough decisions. And when he came off today and Maddison put the armband on, I don't know if it was just me, but when he was the captain for that, duration, I just thought he looked the part. He just looked like he fitted that role of a captain for me. And I know perhaps maybe it would have been too soon to give him the captaincy off the bat straight away.
I was one to say, look, listen, Son getting the armband, I'm not going to die on the hill about him getting it. Listen, if he gets the armband, I go, do you know what? He's probably earned it. That's fair enough. I'm not going to sit there and go, I'm not going to be pissed off that Son's got the armband because fair enough. But I said, I would have given it to Maddison and gone fresh start. he's new into this team. He hasn't got friendships and stuff like that. I mean, I know he's got the English lads from the England setup, but he's not. He's a fresh player in there, and it's gone. Do you know what? Fresh ideas, new person in charge, new face. Listen, I'm not. As I said to you, I'm not going to die on the hill about Son getting the armband. Listen, it is what it is. Fair play to him. Listen, he probably, in all honesty, probably deserves it. But what I have said though, when you get given the armband, responsibility, he has to perform now. There's no excuses. When I hear about people, oh well, he was good, he was bad, blah blah blah. He wasn't. He didn't have this. No. You're in charge now. You're the boss of these players. He needs to be the leader now. Listen, I think he will. I'm not going to sit there and moan about him. But listen, for me, let's be honest. Going to Brentford away is not an easy game of football.
No, it's not. It's not. But look, the way I looked at it, right? Brentford had 3 at the back today, and we was trying to whip balls in, get crosses in. I just think that's not the way we should have gone about things today. I honestly think Richarlison's the type of player that likes ball to feet as a result of, small intricate passes here and there, get the ball to feet, maybe run onto it. I never once thought Richarlison's going to get ahead of his defender and head the ball in today. So for me, crossing the ball in today, I don't think it was the right option. Yes, some of them were low whipped crosses, but I think a sort of more central route would have been better, if you know what I mean, rather than trying to attack the wings and get the cross in. They were playing with 3 at the back at the end of the day, so it was always going to be difficult to penetrate that defence. Madison come out today after the game, at the end of the game, and he thanked all the fans and everyone else, and he said, "Look, despite this being the first game, we're going to try to work hard so that we can all understand what Ange wants to do." And he mentioned that it's always difficult trying to break the low block, but that it's something that they're working on with Ange. That's what he said. I believe the video might be up on Instagram or Twitter at the moment, so if anyone wants to have a look, it's up there. But he personally posted a video, which I thought was really nice.
Yeah, and one thing I did like, before the game even started, they went and did the huddle by the away end. I rated that. It's it's one of those things, when you sit back and go, it's one of those simple things that galvanizes the fan base. It sounds so silly. They went straight to the away end and did the huddle with the away fans. I rated that. And as I said just a minute ago, it sounds so simple, but it galvanizes your fans. They feel you're a part of this thing. And that had to have come from the manager. That has to have come from the manager going, no. You go out there and go straight to those fans now. You're playing for these lads. And listen, I think we can dissect the game as much as possible. I thought we were good. I thought there was patches of good. There was more positives today than there were negatives. Yeah, I think I'm seeing a lot of narrative by the goalkeeper. I'm like, really? I feel like the goalkeeper narrative for me is a bit too. It's too forced for me.
Yeah, look, I was one of the ones today, Perchy. I did mention that he looked a bit.
Yeah, we spoke about it.
And I didn't feel comfortable with some of the decisions that he was making. There was a couple of times where he ran off his line and then decided to come back. Now, today he got away with that. There was one instance where he did run off the line, and the Brentford players were asking for a penalty after their player went down. And it's no coincidence that the entire ground were, we were like, whoa, every time he was on the ball, because they could see it as well. It's not only me, they could see how nervous he was as well. In terms of him making any mistakes, I don't think he sort of made any glaring mistakes. The goals weren't down to him. For me, he's a young goalkeeper who's been asked to play as our number one in the Premier League, in the best division in the world. And, that's going to create nerves for anyone that comes in. Anyone.
At his
age as well, I think we just need to be a bit patient. He's done well.
Yeah.
He played in front of a defence pre-season that was non-existent, but that will come with time.
Agreed.
That connection with the defence will come in time.
Exactly, and I just felt like with the fan base jumped straight on him at half time. oh my God, this guy's rubbish. And I went, what? Because he conceded a deflected goal and a penalty. I was like, come on, let's be a bit more simple. Let's be a bit more sensible about it. And just to say, for the guys that said it was Son's idea to go to the fans, I was like, fair play. I said it was the little things like that I really liked. At the kick, walking out, do the huddle by the away end. It sounds simple, but if it was Son and the players, then fair play on them. I wasn't sure. I didn't know who it was, but I just
Can I say one thing, Perchy. Sorry. He made the save today at his near post, right?
Yeah.
How many goals did Hugo Lloris concede at his near post last season?
Exactly.
Look, guys, apologies about that. Sorry, I've not been very well the last couple of days, and I was actually just sick. So apologies. I'm just not feeling great at all. I think you can see I don't know. I think I look really pale.
You do. To be honest,
I'm gonna keep powering through. But I thought probably not a good look to throw up on stream. I don't think that would be good for views. Listen, there's 697 of you in here. Smash the like button. Thank you to the subscribers. We're now only 23 away from 9,600. Please go and subscribe to Perchy at Perchy TV and subscribe to Haz at Southview Coys. They've now just gone over the 1,000 mark, and let's get them to the 2,000 mark, and let's get people to the 2,000 mark as well. By the way, I think there was lots of positives today. There was still some negatives, but you would expect that, right? You would expect new manager, first game of the season. I don't think we're 100% fit. It's a new style of play. But, and actually, I'll come to that in 1 second. I should probably go through super chats. Ahmed said, he's talking about Lukaku.
To the Spurs.
So Lukaku, we'll talk about this in a minute. Big up to you, Ahmed. Thanks for that. Jim Jam Pookie. I like that. I said, great channel, lads. This is going to be a roller coaster of a season. Final third needs working on, as Ange said, post-match interview. Ange knows. Yeah, absolutely. Big up, Pete. Hope you're well, my man. Said Richarlison offered no movement whatsoever.
Yep.
And Donovan Davis has said Richie worked hard today, but he's not the answer. Look, we'll come back to that in a minute. Thank you so much for all the super chats. We will talk about Lukaku in a minute and a bit more on Richarlison. Look, guys, lots of positives. I think the biggest positive for me is, isn't it lovely watching a game of football where we have the ball? Like, isn't it nice where we have the football, we dictate the pattern of play? But what comes with that, Perchy, is when you play like that and teams know you play like that, there's going to be a lot of teams that are going to do what Brentford did today, sit back and say, cool, break us down. Break us down.
I agree. And that for me is where the three up top have to be much more dynamic. They have to be more
fluid.
Fluid and unpredictable. The front three today was so predictable. You knew what Son, you knew what Richarlison, and you knew what Kulusevski were going to do today. That's why I've been harping on about Gift Orban. And again, it's another one everyone follow. I say it 3 weeks ago. Everyone goes, who are you on about? And now everyone follows my lead. This is what I mean. I'm the oracle. I don't care. I'll say it. But no, I am joking. I'm joking. But that's why a player like a Gift Orban would be brilliant in this squad. Unpredictable. No one's going to know what he's going to do. For me, as I said, we need unpredictability in the final three, not the same three. I'm shocked he didn't bring Solomon on today. That was one thing. I thought Solomon maybe with about 20 minutes or so could have given something a bit more.
Yeah, that's what we mentioned earlier on. I think when me and Savile were on before you came on, mentioned the fact maybe Solomon, if he came on for Kulusevski last 20 minutes, fresh pair of legs, that unpredictability where he can just cut in, take it to the byline. You just don't know what he's going to do. But look, no one expected Tottenham Hotspur to be prime Barcelona first game of the season.
Sure.
A new manager. And let's be honest, Rome wasn't built in a day. So like I said in previous streams, we've got to give this manager time. We've got to give the players time to gel together. There's going to be hiccups along the way. But ultimately, I like what I'm seeing.
Yeah.
And, I can't fault none of the lads today. Maybe I can be sceptical about some of their performances. But first game of the season, let's wait and see. If we're still, square one come the 6th, 7th game of the season, then I'll start sort of ripping into players a little bit more. But for today, I think you can all agree, gents, that they're going to get a free pass, and we'll see how they get on in the next game.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Listen, Mud FC says people expecting Sonny to score a hat-trick after becoming captain. I don't expect him to score a hat-trick, but listen, I'm not going to put this on him. For me, it was the whole front three.
Yeah.
I've got to see those players. I don't think they gave Brentford's back line a difficult day at all. I don't think any of the Brentford defenders had to really play brilliantly to keep us out. And the goals that we scored were the cross, the free kick, and then a 20-yard pop shot from Royal, which was a good goal. But, we did struggle to open that up. I do expect that to change as we build and grow under this manager. Lukaku. Yeah. Listen, I don't know if we're giving this any credit. I'm just going to say what's being reported. It's doing the rounds tonight. I think it was Padula who has reported that Tottenham are in talks with Chelsea for Romelu Lukaku. I won't put any more meat on the bones. I'll let you two do that. Sorry, Percy, you. Yeah, sorry, Percy.
Yeah. No, it's fine. If you could pick a player that doesn't suit this system as much as anyone, it's Romelu Lukaku. Like, it's mad, isn't it, when you think about it? We might as well go and sign Fernando Llorente. Like, if you want to go and pick someone that's just not going to fit this system, we're talking about players like Richarlison being more dynamic, Son being more dynamic, Kulusevski. He's probably one of the least most dynamic players we can go and get. Do you know what I mean? Like I could just... It doesn't. I'm gonna put. There's no credibility to this, and now I say this, we're gonna probably go and announce him next week. Probably, like, do you know what I mean? It'll be madness to do that. Surely.
There's few issues with this for me. Number one, obviously, Lukaku for me is nowhere near mobile enough to be playing in this system. Secondly, he's 30 years of age and he has a contract currently, which stands at 325 grand a week. Now, the latter of the three things I mentioned, the two latter things, the 325 grand wages and his age will not fit the profile that the club are looking for.
How old is he?
I can guarantee he's 30 years old.
Yeah.
I can guarantee you that unless it's a quick fix that will need to get someone in quickly to plug a gap, I can't see this being an option for us.
What about a loan?
Again,
Really?
are we willing to pay the wage?
I'm just asking, Perchy. Before anyone in the things, I've not once said I want Romelu Lukaku at this club. I'm just listen. It's what Spurs do. We make some good signings, and then we go and I'm not saying there's any legs in this, but we do every now and then go and do something that just makes no sense.
Someone's just put it in the chat. I'd rather get someone like a Taremi if we're going to go for that sort. If we're going to go for that, listen, you've got to bear in mind Lukaku's going to be on what 200, 300 grand a week. Let's just, even if it's a loan, we're talking about big money here for a player that everywhere he's gone in the last few years. I've never known a player to be hated by so many football clubs at so many times. Hated at Juve when they were trying to get him. Their fans basically forced him away. Hated by Chelsea fans. Hated by Inter Milan fans. Like, this football player is not the one. He's not the one. Listen, I would rather us go and get. As I said, I've always stand by it. And Orban would be the one. Like, and I'll keep repeating. But why waste your time with a Lukaku? Here's one. Here's a second one. Lukaku. If we get him, what we're doing is we're doing Chelsea a favour. We're doing what Arsenal seem to be doing. Signing their players they don't want anymore. Why do we want to do that? Doesn't benefit us, does he?
I'll ask the question then. And you can't answer with no one. You've got to answer it.
Okay.
If I said to you for the last 37 games of the season, you can either have Richarlison up front every game or Lukaku.
Richarlison.
Really?
Yeah. At least and a reason why, at least Richarlison will press. Lukaku's not going to press. He's going to stand there and I'll be honest. I'll say it how it is. I'd rather Richarlison than Lukaku. Genuinely.
Let's
go the other way around, shall we? let's go the other way around. I'd rather have Lukaku at this point in time, simply because we've seen Richie quite a few games now, from last season to this season to the game today. I think over the course of 30 games or whatever it is, or if we're going to go the whole season, 38 games, I think Lukaku gets more goals than Richarlison. Simply because, yes, Richarlison's got legs, he'll press, this, that, and the other. I just think Lukaku's is more capable of bullying defenders and getting his head on the ball. Look, I'm not saying he's the answer, and I don't want him at Spurs, but I'm just saying between the two, it's, for me, I'd say Lukaku. He's got better. Look, let's be honest. Let's be honest about it. He's got better pedigree than Richarlison.
Yeah, I agree.
That's not, that's backed up through.
That's true. But why would we want to bring a load of baggage with us? That's the only other thing. Like, let's be honest. The Lukaku baggage is just. Do we need that at our football club? Another mercenary? Do we need that? We've got some we haven't got rid of already.
Yeah. I think Sava's just asking hypothetically.
No. I know.
Yeah. But that's all.
I'm not blaming you. I'm not. No. I know. I'll be honest. I'm not putting any credibility to it at all.
Yeah.
If that's the case, if we sign a Lukaku, that would tell me that has nothing to do with Ange Postecoglou.
See, can I say something? Right, for me, the player that I would have most liked to see at Spurs in that striking option, in the striker position, would have been Isaac at Newcastle. Yeah. He is, for me, is phenomenal.
Agreed.
He's got the build, he's got the presence, he's got the skill,
he's got the running,
and his energy. Energy is unbelievable. I agree.
He's got the whole package. That kid, I'm telling you, he is going to be special at Newcastle. I would have loved to have seen him at Tottenham Hotspur. But look, as Edward Kim said, Ivan Toney, look, for me, it's a no-brainer. If he was available this season and, for the right price, I would have taken him at Tottenham. Again, though, is he the right fit? Is he going to give you loads of running?
You always get someone who hasn't listened to what's been said. I literally said we shouldn't buy Romelu Lukaku. Like, I don't think anyone here has said we should buy him. We're just literally talking about.
Big up Jazz Jones.
Big up Jazz Jones. He's always in the chat.
Jazz, I think Savile was just asking hypothetically.
The rumours are out. We're just asking the question, aren't we? Listen, I'll be honest. I think we can collectively say there's not enough credibility on there. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I think all three of us agree that he should be nowhere near this club, and that's certified, obviously. But yeah, Patrick Schick is a great option again. I believe by Leverkusen is he at?
Leverkusen.
Great player.
We don't. It was purely a hypothetical time. It was purely. I've not said we should buy him at all.
I do love when the chat misses what we're saying.
To be fair, Sava, people might have logged in after you asked the question.
Yeah.
They might not be aware.
Sure. Yeah. Look. I know I caught the back end of what you two were saying about Vicario. And by the way, there's 785 of you in here. 21 subs away from 9,600. I've put the link in the chat. Please go and smash that. And
come on, people. Come on.
Only 287 likes and nearly 800 of you in here. Honestly, whenever I go onto other channels, like Liverpool channels, Arsenal channel, they smash the likes. Like at Spurs, it's so tough. Stephen has said, boys, personally, I think Vicario looked dodgy. Donovan Davis has said Ivan Toney in January. And then I want to bring this up. My mate Danny. My mate Danny. Guys, when we're saying why won't anyone call out Vicario when he was one of the worst, it's embarrassing you target players. Why won't anyone call out our goalkeeper after his first ever Premier League game? Really? Really?
Can I?
What are we calling out?
Danny Spurs, I want to say this. It's ironic, isn't it? It's ironic when you mention about target players whilst targeting a player. Like the irony in that whole message was brilliant. Listen, as I said with this is my key point with this whole thing. Apart from maybe a couple of misplaced goal clearances, the one at the beginning where he allowed the press on too much and he It bounced, I believe, off and Burmo and went out for a goal kick. What he gave away, we conceded the 2 goals we conceded today was a deflected goal that came off Van der Ven and a penalty. Are we genuinely saying he was the worst player on the pitch? Seriously. And Sav, I said this to you in our WhatsApp group. I said, no one talks about this if he has Raya #1 on the back. Nothing gets mentioned. If his name was David Raya, we'd all be saying he had an all right game. He wasn't amazing. He had an all right game. We'd be saying. Just saying.
Yeah, big up Lily. I agree on this. I do agree with you on this. Look, we'll talk about Van der Ven in a minute, but I mean, he's had 90 minutes in a Spurs shirt. All right. A couple of times he didn't look massively assuring, but none of the goals were his fault.
Agreed.
He made some good saves. I'm not sure what we're meant to be digging out. You know, it's his first game.
He's being dug out because his name's not David Raya. It's as simple as that. If we'd paid in the summer £40 million for him, no one says a word. Because we paid £20 million or 20 million euros, whatever you want to call it. That's the reason. Fans look at it in that sense, and that's the problem.
Look, I think there's too many football experts who can judge a player after 90 minutes. To be honest with you, look, there's a reason why they've brought this player in. There's a reason why ex-players and pros have come out and said he's going to be absolutely fantastic, and that's probably because he's going to be fantastic. Let's be honest. Let's not be too hasty. Let's not judge straight away. I firmly believe because he came in quite cheap. People are calling it like a Levy opportunistic move. And because of that, he's crap, this, that, and the other. Look, I just think that's absolute rubbish. I don't ever think a player's fee has to dictate whether they're good or bad. We brought in Aaron Lennon, for God's sakes, for 1 million, right?
Yeah.
Was he a world-class player? No, but he was bloody fantastic, and he gave us some fantastic memories. I'm just giving you an example here. Buying players cheaper doesn't always mean that they're rubbish or they're going to be rubbish. It's not always the case. So look, let's give Vicario a chance, guys. Honestly, we can't start getting on his back, especially since he's not the one who was at fault for any of the goals today. Okay, he pulled off a great save near post as well. I mentioned earlier on, Hugo conceded plenty of those last season. So for me, I think it's a bit harsh. You can't judge him on 90 minutes. I know people will say pre-season, but pre-season is just tuning up. Okay,
what happened 18 months ago? What happened 18 months ago? Kulusevski and Bentancur had one game. Everyone went, he's crap, he's terrible. Why have we bought these players? Now everyone loves them. I'm not putting polar opposites. Are we of the most irrational fan base in the league? I had people telling me after watching 45 minutes of this guy, he's not the one, he's crap. Based on what? 45 minutes against West Ham.
Yeah, but Bentancur's another one. Another one, right? We brought him in. He was fairly cheap, right? What was it? 24 million? Oh, there's a reason why Juventus got rid of him.
Yeah, literally. Yeah, one mistake. Our fans find one mistake
after Bentancur got injured. Our season could have been much better if he wasn't injured and stuff. Well, okay. Well, we didn't exactly pay, £100 million for him. It's 24 million.
Yeah. Here's the question. What's the alternative? We bring Hugo Lloris back in.
Exactly.
We bring him. What's the alternative?
We bring Foster back in.
It's mad.
I mean, this is harsh. I mean, he also let in 200 league goals over the last 3 seasons. So it's not just he's not rare, he's not good.
Who was he? Hold on.
So hang on, I've got it up. So 3 years ago, he was playing for Calgary, right? Calgary.
Yep. This is what I was going to mention. Go on.
And they finished 16th in the league and conceded 59 goals, which is still better than what we did last year.
Yeah.
The year after that, so that was 59. The year after that, so that was 2021. 2022, he was at Empoli, who finished 14th and they conceded 70. Right? And the year after that, last season, 22, 23. Empoli finished 14th and he only conceded 49. So are we saying now that he's not a good goalkeeper, or that Empoli are just a very basic Italian team? Like, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what we're doing here.
Let's put right. Sava, give me the teams that he played for again. Go on.
Empoli,
and the one before that.
Was it Calgary? Wasn't it?
Calgary,
yeah,
right.
Calgary.
If we put, let's say, name me a decent goal. All right. If we put Raya,
use David Ray as a great example, isn't it?
in that team again for Cagliari and Empoli, right? Do you think that because Raya is this all-empowered great goalkeeper, that he's going to concede far less goals, or he's going to, not concede every week because he's this magic goalkeeper that's going to save everything? No, it very much depends on the team and players around you. He's played in a poor Cagliari team, but probably statistically made, countless saves, and you can't judge it on the fact that he's conceded so many goals because.
But here's a question:
It's the talent there. It's there, Perchy.
But this is the point. This is what I'm trying to make. It doesn't help. This is the thing. We're meant to be fans of this football club. I've noticed, and I've noticed it for a while. I've noticed that we have so impatient.
Sorry, Perch, I've got to say it. Let me make a better example, right? Aaron Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Right?
Agreed.
Check Aaron Ramsdale's record for the previous clubs that he played for, and the clubs that got relegated when he was playing for him. Would we say the same thing about Ramsdale now? Essentially England's number one?
Sav, can you pick up Chelsea 101 902? Sorry, guy on the top left hates Raya. No, I don't hate David Raya. I hate that our fans compare our goalkeeper to David Raya at every single opportunity. Oh, Raya would have saved that. Based on what? Based on what? Sorry. I
mean, listen. For me, I just think it's simple. You've got a brand new goalie coming to a brand new league with a new centre-back partnership in front of him, a defence that's been really poor for 2 years, by the way, in front of him. For 2 years, for many years now. Somebody summed it up then. Ever change job? First day nervous. I actually thought that he did well. I don't know what he did wrong. Like, I just don't get it.
Agreed. Apart from a couple of clearances that went out, a couple of them, I think it's so nitpicky. It's so nitpicky. It's trying to find a negative for the sake of finding a negative. No one's looked at it and gone. What makes me laugh is no one's talked about some of the good saves he made, some of the good clearances he made. No one talks about that. We talk about a couple of distribution errors he made.
Guys, look, the way I see it, right, in terms of goalkeepers, right, he's at a very young age, relatively young age, right? If this goalkeeper was at Juventus for 5-6 years, first team player, and then came to Tottenham Hotspur, I guarantee you, he wouldn't look shaky at all.
No.
He'd look very composed, calm, and confident because he's got that experience. We've got a goalkeeper now who's not experienced in, playing at the highest level, okay? So he's come in now, in a transitional period at our football club, right? Having to fill Hugo Lloris's shoes, okay? I get people are expectant, but you can't start putting pressure. Look, I've got no doubt that this kid's got ability, right?
Yeah.
The reason why we brought him in as our number one.
But am I the only one who thinks now? Unfortunately now, what's going to happen? This lad is now going to be the scapegoat whenever we concede a goal in football.
I agree.
I
agree.
You could have Kevin De Bruyne hit a 40-yard rocket in the top bins, and everyone go, "I should have saved that." Like, he's now if we don't win games of football now, he's already number one scapegoat from everyone. From what I'm known, I say everyone.
Yeah.
Most people. I see it on social media. Everyone's going at him. I'm like, what? It's like, come on, guys, bro. We can't be doing that
guys. I just wanted
a brand
to
new player.
To the chat, guys, please, make sure you smash that like button, please. Saba's bringing you the show tonight, despite being extremely ill.
Exactly.
Okay? And I think that at least deserves another God knows how many likes, but please like and subscribe.
Every single one, like the stream, guys. Come on, like listen. What people don't realize is a good point. Now, it's a great point. Sav's not feeling well, but people think we just sit there and put a webcam on and we sit here. We give up our time with our like families and stuff. We give up time with like friends and stuff to do this for you guys, and no one charges you anything. Listen, you sit on YouTube and stuff like this, and it's a click of a button. We're not even asking you to do anything. Just click the little button, just there.
And guys, for those of you say, you know, we keep mentioning it, look, it helps the channel. Okay, this is Sav's job at the end of the day. So
exactly,
it's not about, you know, we only do it for the likes and stuff. It helps the channel to grow. Honestly, it's nothing like that.
Yeah, listen, thanks, guys. Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, please do keep smashing the like button. Keep subscribing. We're only 19 away now from the 9,600. So I'll put that link in the chat. I mean, look, guys, we're playing once a week, so it does allow us now time to get on the training ground, right? It gives us time on the training grounds to work on the deficiencies, work on the things that need working on. Do you think that same 11 will start next week? Do you think? No. Do you think everyone's done enough to keep their 11, their place in the 11?
I think. Sorry, I'll go first, Perchy, if you want.
There you go.
I think he'll change it. I think he'll tweak it here and there, possibly after what he's seen today. Simply because we're playing United next game. It's a massive game. I think the area that he's going to tweak it in is the midfield. I think Skip might be the one coming out with another one coming in. For me, Bissouma and Maddison are automatic choices now. Yeah. They have to start. And I can possibly see Richarlison coming out and another coming in with Son moving central. I hope that is the case, but we've got to try and give that a go.
Yeah, absolutely. Perchy, Moscow, what's going to happen?
No, I agree. I think Sarr comes in for Skip. I don't think he'll drop Richarlison. I think he'll persevere. Give him a few games. I don't want to be one of these that sort of goes, oh, just drop after one game. I think the one I think he plays Son. I think he drops Kulusevski. I think he'll drop Kulusevski and put Solomon in my opinion. Yeah, or you put Son on the other end and bring in Perisic. However which way you want to do it. I think Solomon will allow to have a bit more energy that we'll have in that final three. Where I agree to the same extent that in theory, Son down the middle makes more sense. I just don't think he will. I think he will allow Richarlison to have a go at it. I think he will. I don't think he'll just drop. You got to remember, Postecoglou is banking on at the moment Richarlison getting a chunk of goals this season. Drop him at the click of a finger. It is basically back to Conte days, and where look what happened with all that. Richarlison's one of those players, and you can tell straight away he's one of those. Put your arm around him and go, you're the man. He needs Postecoglou to put his arm around and go, you're the man. Harry's gone now. You're the next Harry Kane. He needs to be that one. And I think he will push him on that front. Listen, whether we like it or not, I think that's what's going to be the case.
Yeah, absolutely. Listen, I think a lot of people, Vicario's certainly split in the room, isn't it? In terms of people who rate him or not. But I just feel like, can we at least let him play 10 games with the same back four?
Jazz Jones, did he make any mistakes today, in your opinion? Let us know in the chat. In fact, anyone in the chat, let us know. What if he made mistakes, what mistakes do you reckon Vicario made today? That's what I would like to know.
What serious mistake did he make? When I say a serious mistake, I'm not talking about one where he's kicked a ball long and it's gone out for a throw in or something like that. What serious mistake did he make? Like genuinely, that I think it's so reactionary. Do you know what I mean? It's crazy.
Look, let's talk about this, guys. Let's talk about this. Sorry, got a couple of super chats there. Big up to East London Gooner and to your son. They always watch, so big up to you too. Just a super sticker, so thank you very much. It's always nice to be supported. And Stephen Schulberg has said, "I'm not targeting, but his presence isn't confident." Yeah, listen, let's just give him some time, Stephen. I know you're not targeting him, but let's at least give this guy, 10 games. I mean, I would ask this question: in any game so far, in the friendlies and then today, has he played in front of the same back four once?
Exactly.
Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you've got to. It's not like a goalkeeper's coming in and they've got Man City's back four in front of them. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's not like you've got Vardial and Diaz and Walker and,
Hennessy. Hennessy makes a really good comment here. I'll read it out rather than you finding it. But he says, people doubting Vicario because he's Italy's number 2. He's behind Donnarumma. It says bit like doubting Julian Alvarez because he's behind Haaland.
Or questioning him because he's behind Leo Messi at Argentina. It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look, let's talk, guys. We've had to talk about the Lukaku rumours. The other big rumours coming out of today are that Mr. Eric Dyer is going to Saudi Arabia. He wasn't involved today. There was all this kind of, I was busy yesterday, but all of this nonsense about he unfollowed Spurs on social media and stuff. Look, why wasn't he anywhere near the squad today? I'm not saying he should have been, but why wasn't he? Do we give any of these? Are we putting all of these 3 things together and adding 2 and 2 and getting 6, or could we be getting 4? Could he be leaving?
I think there's a massive possibility. I think Postecoglou kept the cards very close to his chest when he was asked about it and said, I've got a big squad and some players will start and some players won't. He didn't sit there. He said he's in my team, blah, blah, blah. But he didn't actually sit there and say, yes, he's going to be in my team. And no, he was very, I say cryptic. He wasn't really cryptic. He just sort of said that this is my team. I'm a little bit gutted because my Eric Dyer shirt that everyone wants thinks that I love Eric Dyer and is on its way and now he's going to leave. It's like, what's going on? But listen, if he's gone, brilliant, because it's another one that we need to get rid of, isn't it? Let's be honest. And maybe everyone will be stop talking about Eric Dyer once he goes. Maybe it would be nice because I hear everyone moans about him. But listen, like he's still a person. And by the way, I will call out anyone that sent disgusting stuff on his social media. You should be ashamed of yourself. You're the same people that sat there and said about Dele Alli and saying, oh my God, he's amazing for what he done. And now what? Was it 4 weeks ago now? You're doing the same to Eric Dyer. You should be ashamed of yourself. Anyone that went on there and sent him hate. He's a football player. Yes, he's not. We don't want him at the football club and on footballing reasons, but that is unacceptable.
Yeah, well said, Percy. Well said.
Listen, do you know what? We can come on, we can talk about players, we can say if we think they're good, we can say if we think they're bad. But when people message footballers or actors or anything on YouTube or Instagram or Twitter and abuse them, I don't get it. It's all right. Say you don't like Eric Dyer as a footballer. Cool.
Yeah.
But to message him hate is just very, very strange.
Some of the stuff was disgusting as well, by the way. Disgusting behaviour.
Yeah, you should never make it personal. At the end of the day, guys, it's a job. It's a job that he's getting paid to do, just like we've got jobs that we get paid to do. We don't expect anyone giving us, any hate or, going personal about it. So, look, we can criticise him all day long about how bad he is and that, he shouldn't be playing for the football club.
It's
making it personal is never.
And it's not his fault he's still at the football club. It's not his fault. It's not his fault. He got offered a bumper contract. If I was getting paid a load of money getting that, I would say it's not his fault. If he wasn't good enough, we shouldn't have offered him a new contract and kept him at the football club. Like, do you know what I mean? He's sitting there doing his job. That's the one thing. The hate was just unacceptable that I saw.
Yeah, absolutely.
Has truth in him going? Hopefully the Saudi Arabians haven't watched him play and that move does come.
Sava, the joke of it is, right, before the season started, everyone was joking, why don't a Saudi club just come in for him, for God's sake? Take it off my hands. And then all of a sudden, it's like, he's an Al Nassr player now. It's just like, what the hell is going on? Like, it's so surreal. He's the one player that you wouldn't expect to be associated with a Saudi team. But look, if the rumours are true, okay, it's a win-win situation. And the reason I say that is First of all, he's off our books. He's no longer a Tottenham Hotspur player. But for him, he's earning a shed load of money and he's playing with Ronaldo and Mane week in, week out.
How's he made that? How's he wangled that one?
Yeah, so, it's a win-win situation if that's the case. But I will say this, the rumours have been persistent today. So, sometimes there's truth to these things. It's not out the realms of possibility. So let's see what happens. But him, obviously, disassociating himself from Tottenham Hotspur on Instagram, for me, is a big sort of, telltale sign that things aren't right at the moment. And it's no coincidence that it comes off the back of Son being named as captain of the team, along with his vices. So you can understand, obviously, perhaps he's frustrated, perhaps he's thinking, why wasn't I selected even as a vice captain, having been one of the longest serving players? But the fact is, I just don't think that Ange believes in him or rates him at all. Otherwise, he'd have had a lot more time during pre-season, if I'm being honest with you. But look, let's hope the rumours are true. And let's hope that Dyer does what's best for him at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. Look, what did we make then of the captain decision yesterday? I don't think anyone was shocked that Son got it, but was he the right person in your mind? Were the choices the right three?
For me, look, I think in theory, Son getting it makes complete and utter sense. I don't think there's any. I don't think it's one of those. It's the safe option, isn't it? No, not saying it. He could have. I'm not sitting there suggesting that Son should have been captain, but I think I said no. I was when you just went away. When Sav, I said it would have been ballsy to give it to James Maddison. New player into the club, fresh ideas. You don't have the sort of baggage, so to speak, of Tottenham Hotspur. There you go. You're in charge. You're editing. What I will flip it though and say, listen, I'm not going to die on the hill for Son getting. I'm not going to die on the hill for Son getting the armband. I'm not going to die on the hill. But what I will say and what I said yesterday, him, Maddison. I'm not necessarily Maddison because he's only just joined, but him and Romero. No more excuses. You're now the faces of the football club. Whether you want it to be or not, you can't be doing the stuff you did last year. And listen, nothing against Romero. I thought he had. I mean, it's hard to judge 12 minutes of football, but I thought he was okay when he played. He got a good goal. Son today, though, that's what I said earlier. He needs to be the one that takes the game by the scruff of the neck. He's the leader. He's the captain. He needs to be geeing people up, going, "Come on, guys! I don't want to see him head down anymore." I think you mentioned it before last season. When times get tough with Son last season, his head drops. He's got to be the one with head up going, guys, come on, we can get back in this game. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, just quickly before I come to you, guys and girls, come on. Where's the love? 754 of you in here. We need 19 more subscribers to get to 9,600. Just 19 of you, man.
Do we need to hit you some breaking news?
Sure. Who said it?
I'm not sure. I think they may have just deleted their tweet, what I just said. I just got a notification because I've got all the Spurs stuff on it. Oh, no truth in Eric Dyer to Saudi Arabia and Lukaku to Tottenham rumours. So all the talk for nothing.
Who said that?
It was a quote from Alistair Gold. So no, the Dyer and Lukaku stuff is not true from what Alistair Gold's saying.
Yeah, I mean, with that being said, look, I saw a lot of reports yesterday. We are going to go just for another 6-7 minutes, people. So please smash the likes. Please subscribe. Subscribe to Purchase TV. Subscribe to Southview Boys. Sorry, normally I would go for 2 hours, but I am on my.
You rest up, mate. Definitely.
I am struggling. Lots of reports coming out saying that Spurs are still going to buy 3 more players. That's going to be a centre mid, a centre back, and a centre forward. If they don't get at least 1 or 2 more, fans are going to go mad, aren't they? Fans are going to go mad.
Absolutely. I mean, look, a huge chunk of that money that we got for Harry Kane needs to be spent on priority areas. One of them has to be a centre-back position for me. I think they'll be right if we don't make a signing in the next couple of weeks or before the window ends. We all know there's a protest for our next home game. I think that's got real potential to kick off if we sort of don't bring anyone in. But look, I think it's essential. We need to spend that money. We need to spend it wisely. We need to get Ange on board with it and ask him what we need and let him take care of the rest. So for me, it's absolutely criminal, and it will be absolutely disgusting if we didn't bring in at least 2 more players.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Perchy, the moment Kane went, I don't want to get into a conversation about Kane, but the moment he went, I think that was the talk, wasn't it? Was, has the money been spent, or is that money available? And I think that if we got through to the rest of the summer now without bringing in more options, when that money has just been spent, I mean, if you look at it, Spurs we've got to give or take the numbers.
Net spend of 6 million, apparently.
So you got 100 million for Kane. You got 8 to 12 million for Winks. Depends for me. When did the payments go out for when were the payments for Porro and Kulu budgeted?
Yeah, that's going to be an absolute key one. They should have been budgeted in the last season. So this has been my take on the whole Kane money. Let's call it the Kane money, like we called it the Bale money and all this lot. The Kane money, let's call it that. For me, I think Daniel Levy has to go and buy players now. And this is my point on this, is because you've got 2 sides of this thing that are going to very quickly become one if they don't buy players. Because do you know what? It's an easy goal. It's an easy win for Daniel Levy, but can be a very easy loss in the same circumstances. Because if Kane, so the Kane money's gone. Let's just say they could go and buy 2 or 3 players. Let's just say that if they go and buy the right players, the fans that went, you shouldn't have sold Kane, are going to go, well, okay, I understand it now because we bought in 3 decent players. And the ones what they also want, the ones that went, no, selling Kane means that we can strengthen our squad. You start getting more people in it. If he doesn't buy anyone, you'll have the people going, then why did you waste your time selling Harry Kane? And the people that have gone, well, no, if you're going to sell Harry Kane and reinvest, are going to go, why have you not reinvested? I think it's a big loss. A big loss in the sense of unity within the families. The pitchforks will be out at Hotspur Way on the 1st of September if we've not signed another player now. I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. Obviously, guys, must touch on it. Harry Kane went this week. Obviously, this is the Spurs review. Harry Kane's gone. And let's call it for what it is. Great player. He's gone. We move forward. And I really hope everyone now just gets behind Ange. I really, really hope people do. Listen, I think we can have an exciting season. I just think there's a lot to do. There's a lot to do, right? And I think anyone's talking about 4th or 3rd or all this sort of talk needs to really kind of temper expectations.
Yeah, I agree. I think we all need to get over the Harry Kane transfer now. Personally, myself, I watched him last night in the German Cup final, Super Cup, just to have a look, and it's out of my system now. If I'm being honest with you, seen him play, been there, done that. Now I don't need to follow him. So, guys and girls, let's look forward to the season ahead. Honestly, let's get behind the team and just thank Harry Kane for what he did. That's it. We have to move on.
I just to sort of echo what Haz is saying, he's spot on there. Listen, Harry Kane was an absolute sensational football player at Tottenham Hotspur. Whatever anyone says, and there's no debate there, that's not a debate. He was absolutely phenomenal. But he's not a Tottenham Hotspur player anymore. And the club putting out last night the video of a new era. Now, as a fan base, we need to start believing in that. And also the board have to. And I said it to you earlier, actually, Sav, when I came on your watch along. I said, the club have called it a new era. Now the board can't put that out and then get rid of him because we've had a bad run of form. Now, if it's a new era, we get behind Postecoglou and we support him for his contract, however long it's going to be, 3-4 years. We support this man. And I just think we can't be so trigger happy at the moment. We can't. It's not fair on the manager nor the players, because then we go and get somebody else in and start again and again and again.
Yeah. Just last question before we finish up. And guys and girls, thank you to the 3 or 4 that have just subscribed. We're now only 14 away from 6,000.
7,000.
9,600.
That's mad.
So far, from this season, from the games this weekend, obviously there's one more to go with Man United and Wolves. Any surprises? Have you seen anything that shocked you? Villa getting slapped 5-1, probably wasn't thought about, but anything else that surprised you?
I think Villa getting absolutely destroyed by Newcastle is a good one. Big point. I thought Bournemouth West Ham, it wasn't the most exciting game of football, but that was a good game of football for periods of it. Bournemouth with Solanke scoring. And the opener really kind of just set the. I think the first game, the City Burnley game on Friday. I think we all watched that one and went, do you know what? Man City didn't even try and just absolutely walk through him. Haaland again, coming back. And just if he's watching, Mr. Box Office, now Haaland is matched John Carew. What are you going to say now? Just saying, if you're watching. They're both on 38 goals. It was poetic.
Yeah, I tell you what, I watched that game Friday night, and I don't know about you, Haz, but I mean, Man City, it felt to me like they didn't even bother getting out of first gear. It felt like it was all a bit easy for them.
Yeah, for me, Sava, look, Pep Guardiola's reactions at half-time says it all. He's raring to go again. He was not a happy man despite being 2-0 up. You can see that winning mentality still there, and he just wants that fire to keep burning in his players' bellies. So for me, the only constant thing that I saw over the last couple of days was that City's going to be strong again. But the surprising thing for me was Arsenal played well against Nottingham Forest, but they showed that they still can have a soft belly.
Yeah.
And they have an injury now as well. So, Nottingham Forest, people are expecting them to lose 3 or 4-0 against Arsenal. They really, hung on in there, got a goal back and could have had another couple more. So that was surprising. But I just wanted to give a special mention to Luton Town, who lost ultimately against Brighton. But I thought they gave a really good account of themselves. And I think they're going to surprise a few people this season with the football that they're playing. They're in the Premier League now, and they're not going to be afraid to mix it with the big boys. They showed that against Brighton. They had chances aplenty. But had they had that quality striker in the box, I think they could have hurt Brighton.
Can I just make a point? Sorry, Haz. I just wanted to make a quick point about Brighton because I'm sorry, I'm sort of detouring for a second, but I actually looked over this and I went, this is crazy. Spurs fans had their minds about the Harry Kane situation, lost our talisman. Look how many of Brighton's best players got ripped out of that squad, and they absolutely turned over. Yeah, could argue it was Luton Town, but they played brilliantly.
Mate, I've seen them in pre-season, and they've looked. There's no drop off. Like they play a great brand of football.
They lost their goalkeeper, their best number 6, and their best number 10 in one window. Imagine if we lost our three best players in one window, we'd all have a meltdown, right?
No, I know. But I mean, again, I think we will be okay with that once we start trusting the scouting.
Agreed.
Once we have a few good windows, I think we'll all get over that. Listen, guys and girls, I am going to leave it there. Thank you so much to everyone. Please smash that subscribe button on your way out. Really want to get to the 9,600. It's been a bit tight tonight on the subscribes and the likes, but hey, it is what it is. Apologies that I wasn't 100% tonight. Apologies that I didn't have probably the same energy as normal. So thank you, Haz and Perchy, for stepping up when I needed to step away for 10 minutes. Big up to absolutely everyone in the chat. We go again. I think there's a lot more positives than there are negatives, but still a lot of work to do at Tottenham Hotspur. Please go over and subscribe to Perchy at Perchy TV. Please go over and subscribe to Haz at Southview Coys. And we will be back tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Much love. See you all soon. And as always, come on, you Spurs.